Do you also think that listening is one of the trickiest modules in IELTS and you are not able to score your desired band? Then don't worry, do watch my today's video. I'm Ritika from IELTSmaterial.com, and in my today's video, I'm going to share my journey to a perfect band 9 in IELTS Listening Test. So without wasting any time further, let's get started. I still remember when I practiced my first listening test. At that time, I was very much relaxed that I will listen to the question and I will mark all the answers. But after the audio ended, then I realized that listening is not a piece of cake. It requires a perfect balance of listening, reading, and writing simultaneously. I didn't read the questions beforehand. And that was the biggest mistake. And because of that only, I missed a lot of answers. In fact, till today, if I put myself into the situation where I'm not reading the questions before, then definitely there are high chances that I will miss the answers. So after that mistake, I always made sure that I will read the questions beforehand. And that is the actual idea of the test as well. Your test gives you 30 seconds to read the questions. So my advice to you people is always use that 30 seconds optimally. One of the major problems that I always faced while practicing for IELTS listening is that I always felt that the time they are giving me to read the questions is not at all sufficient. And I was extremely worried, especially in case of part 3 and 4, that how should I buck up, how to read all the questions in such a short period of time. So what I did at that time is, you people must have noticed, after completing every section, you get 30 seconds to revise your answers. So I started using those 30 seconds to read my upcoming questions. And in that way, I never fell short of time in section 3 and in section 4. And I had exact 1 minute to read the entire sets of questions. And it was more than enough to understand and to read the questions. Actually, my idea was, what I have done in the previous section, I have done that. If I will be revising my answers, so that time also I won't be able to, if something I have missed, so I will recall that or I will write down that answer. There is a very less probability of doing so. So rather wasting that time in revising my answers, I tried to use that time more effectively and start reading the next questions. Many of you will agree with me that most of the trickiest parts in IELTS listening are part 3 and part 4. Part 3 where 3 to 4 people are talking together, and part 4 where they speak a lot. There is a lot of gap between the answers. So what is the common problem that is being faced by many of us is that we somewhere get lost in between the audio and in between the text. And I used to face the same when I was practicing IELTS listening. So what I started doing at that time is, I started highlighting the keywords and following the signposting languages to tackle this problem. When I started following these two things, then I was able to develop a sync between the audio and between the text. And these keywords and signposting languages helped me a lot to get a perfect band 9. If you don't know about signposting languages, then don't worry. You can watch my previous videos based on IELTS listening tips and tricks where I explained signposting languages in detail. One of the biggest mistakes made by several IELTS candidates is that if they are not able to get any answer, they leave that question. They leave the question unanswered. Never ever do that, especially in the types of questions where you need to find out the answer from the set of options given. In such kind of questions, whatever the answers you got, it's fine, let it be, you got it. But if in case you are not able to hear the answers, then instead of leaving those answers blank, what you can do is, on the basis of the understanding of the audio, make some guesses. But yes, logical ones, no random guesses. And after that, mark the answers. If you will leave the answers, then definitely you will get a 0. However, if you will write something from those options, then the probability of getting a score increases, isn't it? So why to leave any question unanswered? Never ever do that. Moving further, one of the major pain area for many of the students is multiple choice questions. what happens is students get lost in between the options, they get confused with all the options and end up marking the incorrect answers. It used to happen with me as well when I was practicing. And initially what I used to do now, I always tried to look for the correct answers, and this thing didn't work out for me. So what I started doing is I started following the process of elimination. Rather than just hunting for the correct answers, as per the audio, I started eliminating the wrong answers. I still remember in my real IELTS listening test, what happened was in one of the multiple choice questions, I was badly confused. Like, what could be the correct answers? So at that time, I didn't hear the correct answer, but yes, I was able to eliminate all the wrong ones. So I was so sure that these three options were incorrect. I marked the remaining one, and it turned out to be the correct answer. So always make sure to run the process of elimination when you are doing multiple choice questions. Now moving further, if I talk about another types of questions, that are sentence completions. In these kind of questions, always make sure when you are reading the questions, then try to predict the answer. Try to understand the nature of the answer, whether it would be a word. If it is a word, then it can be a noun or a pronoun or an adjective or any verb. Or if it is a number, then it would be the age or cost or date, what it can be. Also, always try to predict the answers. These predictions will make it easier for you to spot the correct answer. And apart from this, always make sure whenever you will be listening the audio, your answers should be grammatically correct. And how you can figure it out? Once you have marked the answer, then read the entire sentence along with your answer. This thing will help you to understand whether your sentence, the entire sentence framed with your answer, making sense or not. If it is not making sense, then definitely you need to look for the grammar. Okay, now look at the screen and let us make predictions with these questions. See, first of all, let us go through the instructions. What the instructions are saying? No more than 2 words. Okay. Now the first question is, the easiest way is to buy your tickets dash. So what can be the easiest way? Maybe online. Okay. Make sure that you receive a dash of your booking. So what should I receive for my booking? Maybe a receipt or maybe any confirmation. Okay. The second way is to book your tickets dash. Now what can be the second way? I can book the tickets maybe through phone. Next, if you don't want to plan your visit in advance, you can simply purchase the tickets dash in ticket kiosk. So what does it mean? Like if I haven't planned my trip in advance, then there is another way, like how I can book the ticket. Maybe from any ticket counter, maybe directly face to face in person I can buy a ticket. So always make sure to make such kind of predictions while reading your questions. These predictions will make it easier for you to get the correct answer. Another type of questions that we get in IELTS listening are maps. I know many of the students get goosebumps just after hearing that they need to attempt a map in listening. I was also sailing in the same boat when I was preparing, but I started figure out some tricks that how I can mark the correct answers in maps. So initially, first of all, it is always very important for you to be prompt enough in switching between the directions. As per the audio, if they are saying north, then go to north. If they are saying south, then go to south. So this thing is very important. Secondly, when you are looking at the map, make sure that you are able to locate from where you are starting in the map. If you miss that beginning point, then there are high chances that you will not be able to track the audio. So always be focused from where the map is being started and then follow each and every direction, the flow of the audio. This will definitely help you to get the correct answers. Now look at this map on the screen. See, in this map, if you will see, there is an arrow just below the reception. This shows that map is being started here. So you will stay focused here, and apart from this, you will read all sort of rooms which are given here in the map, such as leisure pool, seating areas, sports hall, dance studio, changing rooms. You will mark of all these things and then you will follow the flow of the audio and make sure to be prompt enough while going from one direction to another as per the audio. Another thing that I will suggest to you all is watch out for distractors. Never ever fall for them. When I was practicing my IELTS listening test, then I was never into any rush while writing my answers. I always make sure that whatever the answers I'm marking, at first, whatever the information I'm getting, I used to write that information. And then later, if they are correcting the spelling or correcting the number, then I made the corrections. So you also always be vigilant while writing the answers. If there are distractors in the next line, then make sure to make the necessary corrections. Now look at the screen. I have a script for you. See what is the question saying here. Guess the correct telephone number. George. So the telephone number is 07892345567. Now what Amanda is saying, oh sorry, did I say 567? It is 576. Yes. Now in this case, if you didn't write the previous number they said, then definitely you will miss the answer. So always make sure whatever the information you are getting at first, write it down. Later as per the audio, you can make corrections. This is it from my side today. If you found this video helpful, then don't forget to like, subscribe and share our channel. Apart from this, you can now follow us on Instagram as well. If you are looking for IELTS courses, then do check our description box to get the details of the most comprehensive IELTS courses we are offering here at IELTSmaterial.com. Thank you.